Alrighty guys, Azzy here, bringing us another Dragon Ball Legends video. This one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be reviewing the new update. So we have finally headed into the era of version 4.7.0. So they have this whole celebration event going on right now, right? Like we got 200 Chrono Crystals in your gift box, all that good stuff. We have battle version 2.5. We got treasure battle. We're going to go through all of this stuff. We're going to talk about the pros and negatives, but I do want to focus on the pros first and foremost. The first thing we are going to be talking about is the new battle system. For me, this is easily the best part of the update, as it introduces us to two brand new mechanics in the form of quick dash and quick attack. It is still brand new to the player base, but from the little experience that I have with the new battle system, I am having a ton of fun. At the lower ranks, it doesn't really feel like it changes things too much. There have even been matches where both myself and my opponents do not even use the new mechanics at all. Right, the game is still playable the way that you used to until everyone starts adapting a little bit more. This does not necessarily feel like something that flipped the battle system upside down on its head entirely, but something to just get used to over time. For me, personally, I noticed that I use this mechanic mostly against MUI players or players that are overly passive, where there's just constant backfloating or you just constantly see your enemy at the back of the map. But if you are facing against someone who is aggressive and not scared of using cards, this mechanic can easily get punished. Right. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this battle version. Let me know if you are having fun with this mechanic in PvP as well. So now let's talk about treasure battle. So this is basically the new and improved training battle, right? And for the most part, the changes are good. Everyone will still be bumped up to level 5000 and max soul boost, but unlike training battle, you will no longer have your entire party maxed out at 14 stars. This is the only issue that I have with it personally, probably my biggest critique. Right, as you guys do know, I am free to play, so a majority of the time my units can be found at low stars. Sometimes I did enjoy heading into training mode to see the full potential of my units, or even just for practice, right? If I didn't want to just hop into ranked with an awful team, I wanted to get used to it first, right? You could still do that, but you're not going to be able to get the full benefits of having like a full LBR team, a 14-star team. If I'm using my units at regular stars, at the stars that I already have them at, I just feel like I may as well just go into the standard matchmaking game mode at that point, right? But aside from that, it looks like matchmaking for this game mode will be skill-based, which is actually a massive plus. In my opinion, I think it's a massive plus. I have heard some people do not like this, but I personally do like this because I kind of am a high-ranking player. Not necessarily high-ranking, but I do hover around the top 3,000 usually, right? That's my comfort zone in PvP. I usually hover around the top 3,000, and I feel like whenever I would hop into training battle, right, on the few occasions that I would, it would always be against players that were significantly lower than me in terms of battle ranking, and it didn't feel like casual PvP. It just felt like I was stomping the opponent, right, for the most part. And so I feel like this was intentional, because high-ranking players can no longer just go into training mode and bully new or casual PvP players, making it more so casual for them. But again, the casualness definitely does feel like it took a hit to me, just because, like, say if you're a brand new player or even a casual player that has like a 3-star brand new LF, monthly LF, you have the brand new 3-star trunks. You hop into the treasure battle, right, for some casual games, and what if you come across, it's skill-based matchmaking, by the way, come across another casual player that has a 14-star LF trunks, right? That there's obviously going to be some you're gonna probably look at them and be like, how is this casual? How is this casual? So once again, I think them taking away 14 stars from this game mode is somewhat of a negative. The rewards are decent, but they do rely on an RNG treasure chest like we see in the free daily item in the shop, right? You can open it 3 times per day and gain 50 rating points on the first opening, allowing you to build rank without actually playing ranked, which is, honestly, admittedly, it's kind of nice, right? I wouldn't rely on those treasure rewards though, as there are sparking metals, platinum coins, erasers, and other resources that you can possibly pull, but who knows, you might get lucky. Amongst this, we also got some other quality of life updates, which always seem to never miss in terms of making the game more easier to navigate, as well as implementing TN's counter RR Rising Rush, essentially the second half of his kit, which I'm definitely looking forward to. So both player and enemy voice lines will now play at the start of the battle. These voice lines have been adjusted so as to not to be interrupted by other actions. I think the best part of the quality of life update is in the form of the equipments, right? So if I click on this equipment right here, just a random one, elites can be beaten. Obviously we're going to be able to, it shows you exactly where to get it. I can go straight to the stage from here, right? And if it's exchangeable, right? If it's, you have the resources that you can exchange this equip for, you can go into how to get, and I can just exchange it from right here, right? And then it'll pull up just like this. I don't have to go to another menu right here, and I can just, you know, that's very streamlined, very straightforward. Like I said before, Legends does a great job in terms of the quality of life updates. So unfortunately, this is where the update goes downhill. So what they did not include in the news is the fact that there is a massive change to the way the AI acts during PvE. In short, float step is no longer a thing. For those of you who don't know what float step is, it was essentially a way to cheese the AI by constantly slow floating forward, drawing cards and recovering vanish. You can see a bit of it here on the screen from a very old video that I have of mine up on the channel, but it's now gone. You can no longer use this method. Even if you would like to learn how to use this method, there's no point. Now, I understand that the devs didn't want what was considered a massive cheat code for all of their PvE content to be forever in the game, but now PvE just feels awful. I feel like this is a massive setback for PvE because for a lot of people, float stepping was what made PvE bearable for them, right? Because when you look at Dragon Ball Legends, the first thing you think of typically is PvP, right? Not the PvE. PvP is the highlight of this game. Now, the AI isn't necessarily difficult to fight against. In fact, it actually feels like the AI is much more passive than it used to be. It still can PvE effortlessly, right? But the main issue is that now every PvE event is going to take so much more time, making it extremely tedious when a lot of people had already found it tedious. Right. The only thing that seems to consistently work for getting priority against the AI is vanishing and then going in straight for a blast, right? Because if you go for straight for a strike card, you're going to probably get PV'd right here, right? You now have to chain all of your cards, whether it be sidestepping, charge stepping, doing none of the above, but you cannot do drop combos anymore. If you try to do drop combos, the AI will just consistently vanish it over and over and over and over, right? This may not be an issue for casual players, especially for those of you who weren't even aware of what float stepping was, but for the players who did, I have a very strong feeling that a lot more people are going to be inclined to just use mods to complete their respective PvE events. So congratulations, Bandai. I hope that this is what you wanted. I think this is a massive setback. They could have easily, maybe not easily, honestly, maybe I'm being a little bit too hard on them, but I feel like they should have worked a little bit harder to come up with a better solution, right? For me, I'm not a developer, right? You can't come up to me and say, Azzy, but what would you have done? If you didn't want float step to be a thing in the game, what would you have done? I really couldn't tell you, but I'm not a dev, am I? I just don't think this was, I think it's clear to see, I don't have to be a dev to say that this was a bad decision though. So the last thing that we are going to talk about is the reward reduction. So first and foremost, PvP rewards. As someone who plays PvP regularly for the past 2 years, I've always recommended viewers to hit at least top 10k to guarantee their 1000 CC. Now, if you hit that goal, it will only net you 800 CC. This is somewhat mitigated by the grouping system in which you can also earn CC rewards, but Legends needs to learn that you can add more CC into the game without taking it from somewhere else. This is a problem that we've encountered time and time again, and needless to say, I am just very disappointed. They completely removed the CC rewards from PvP missions. They reduced the CC gain from Hoi Pois down all the way to 300 from once was started at 1,000. And once again, they've made the raid system worse. How many times have we complained about raid? How many times have they had to change the raid format? it just keeps happening over and over again, right? It feels like they don't learn, right? There's no more CC gained from combat rewards, and all the CC is locked within the exchange shop. And to a lot of people, this doesn't seem like a big deal, right? But this is a massive f you to players who are over 20,000 CC, as Raid will provide them with nothing, essentially, with no CC, due to the 20k CC being the cap. The only way you can get CC past that point is if it goes directly into your inventory, right? It cannot be exchanged for. We hope you continue to enjoy playing Dragon Ball Legends.